If you are having problems with the second special operation map, here is one way you can beat the map. Also, I will be sharing the secret stash location for the moneda and the gear that I used to beat the map. So the first part of the mission is quite easy. You can get to the end location without having to kill any enemies. What I suggest using is the parkour set and just rush to that location.
The military has the town on lockdown. Nobody is getting in or out.
Also, if you want, there will be an optional task here to free some soldiers, and that will reward you an extra 100 moneda at the end. So look for the signal flares and go to that location to rescue the prisoners. Also, if you hear a plane, look for the supply drop. You will get some free goodies there. When clearing a camp of enemies, look for a high ground, an advantage point. Use the phone to scan all enemies. I suggest all because you won't be surprised, you'll see them on the map when they come for you. You can see here that the enemies are level 20 and I'm still level 15. So you can do the mission even if you are not the recommended level. Use a sniper rifle or a normal rifle, what you prefer, and kill all the enemies while remaining hidden. After killing all the enemies, go and rescue the hostages.
De nada. O hiciste algo bueno. Yeah.
And also make sure that you look for some ammunition cache to refill your weapons and gadgets.
Lola.
After that, just go to the end of the map
Lola.
where the secret weapon is.
Wreck the airbase. Nothing's flying out of here for a while.
Good. The workers in the fields can breathe a little easier now.
I'm going to check the buildings near the control tower for their weapon. Stand by.
Always do, guerrilla.
Normally you'll aim for the tower there to have a advantage, but I'm using Lavarita weapon, so I go behind the building,
Info now. Got a bullet.
use the Supremo ability, and kill the enemies from behind the wall.
Adios, Commander. Thanks for the key.
If you haven't unlocked the weapon and the Supremo, I will post a link in the description on how to unlock those.
There you are.
After you take the weapon,
On my way back to the evac area.
try to stay in the shade as much as possible. This is the route that I take.
Maybe I should poach you from Juan. Get you running my
Using the
ranch.
parkour set,
Betray Juan?
you can run and skip the first
Okay, I'm headed your way.
water waypoint.
To keep that thing cool. Shade, the bumps, even that muddy poison water will help you if you get desperate, Guerrilla.
And by the time you reach the second one, you'll have the heat at 50% or above, but it's not critical yet. Here, look for vantage point. Scan all the enemies
Special forces, of course.
and use your rifle or sniper rifle with the silencer to kill them from distance. You don't need to rush this process. Make sure that you remain in stealth all the time and also in the shade. You don't want the weapon to overheat. With a bit of patience, you'll be able to take all the enemies without them knowing what hit them. One thing to mention here, even if they hide and you cannot reach them with the sniper rifle, make sure you don't go into that area because they will become aware of you and some more enemies will spawn and come after you. So you just have to find the spot where you can kill them from distance. After that, go and use the water to cool the weapon.
Time for some water.
Remember to refill your ammo. And then keep running in the shade. And if you use this path with the parkour set, you will be able to run up to the start location of the map without having to cool the weapon, which means that you won't have to deal with other enemies, and that means also that the chances for you to die will be decreased. So keep running in the shade, go up the stairs, and on the top of the building you'll find some water that you can use. I also use some proximity mines just in case the enemies come from those direction, because
I'm at the apartments, Lola.
since I already have them
hell is
equipped,
everyone?
why not use them?
Military chased everyone away after you stir shit up.
Good. These
Go
could
up,
get messy.
A
pull
mudslide
the
here
weapon,
and a chemical weapon? I expect nothing less.
make sure you keep staying in the shade as much as possible. You can also place some mines near the ladders. Because you will use the rooftop for cooling the weapon. And also, if you stay on this side of the building, there is a small area where is the shade here. And you can use the Lavarita weapon and the Supremo ability to kill the enemies without them knowing what hits them. Before using this method, I was using the Supremo that can revive me if I die. But that means that you'll have to actually be face to face with the enemies, and that will increase your chances of dying. So staying behind the building is safer. Also, on my sniper rifle and on my SMG, I have a mod that increases the regeneration of the Supremo ability
Need that water to
for
keep this
each
thing from overheating.
headshot, and it does increase it a lot. And because I'm using the sniper rifle in stealth, I am able to do mostly headshots. And you will be surprised, but it takes only 4 headshots to refill the Supremo, or 3 if you also wait for a few seconds. After the Supremo is ready, you can continue sniping, or just go and use the Lavarita weapon to kill the enemies without being out of cover.
You okay?
I've got mud in all my cracks, and this place is a total horror show. But other than that, I'm good. Where are you?
I'm stuck at a checkpoint. This soldado, who I pay fucking good money to, is hassling me about some missing TVs. I'm about to lose my shit and show him my weapons catalog.
In my experience, being at the same
Deal with the soldados.
terrain level with the enemies, it's easier to hit them. You can also do this from the rooftop, but for me it seemed easier being at the same level.
Got to cool this off in that water.
After that you can go on the rooftop again, pull the weapon and continue sniping. Make sure that you keep an eye on the ladders, because the enemy could come up after you. When the helicopter comes, you can use the Supremo ability, or you can equip a grenade launcher or rocket launcher or whatever is your weapon of choice. I'm using a grenade launcher with EMP grenades. One EMP grenade will disable the helicopter, and some of the times the helicopter gets destroyed or just falls to the ground and the enemies will be on foot.
TV, mierda. Lola, tell me you're close.
Still held up. That little come mierda called his commanding officer. I could shove those TVs up his... Don't worry. Lola's got this.
Just get over here, compadre.
Also, after you reach this stage of the mission, make sure that you switch from the parkour set to a more defensive oriented set. You can use one that decreases blast damage or one focused on bullets defense, because you won't be running that much anymore.
Better cool this off in the water. Cojones! Where can I cool this down? I'm dead if I don't get this in water soon.
Since theoretically I'm underleveled for this difficulty, I'm not rushing and taking the time to kill each enemy. Also be careful that flamethrower guys don't only do damage to you but also increase the hit on the weapon.
Loose
You can use the Lavarita weapon with the Supremo ability to also kill the enemies inside the tanks or helicopters. Or if you don't have it ready, you can use a EMP grenade and hijack
Good. Now get
the
me out
tank.
of here so I can take a shower and book a fucking therapy session. Lost them. Big gun. Cojones! Where can I cool this down? Good. There's some water. Shut that down. I'm dead if I don't get this in water soon. Mierda. Tank. Binga! This weapon's getting hot.
There is also a trophy for completing the mission on highest difficulty, which is Mastery 3.
Poison and death.
As a reward, you will get 600 monedas plus the 100 from the optional mission. In order to get the secret cache, near the area where you take the secret weapon, there are two barracks.
Remember to keep that thing cool. Shade.
In one of them,
Even that
there
money
is the key.
will help you if you get desperate, Guerrilla.
After that, on the left side of the map, look for the water tower, and next to it there is a building. When you enter on the left, you will see the secret stash.
Got to get this.
I am using an MP5 with a compensator. I'm not using any suppressor because when I'm using this one, I don't want to be stealth. I just want to have accuracy and velocity. And the important mod on this one is that killing enemies with headshot will generate lots of Supremo. I'm also using a sniper rifle, which will grant me the same bonus for the mod. Killing enemies with headshot will generate lots of Supremo. Like I said, for the grenade launcher, use the EMP grenades in order to take down helicopters faster. I'm also using the Lavarita weapon. Normally, you will be tempted to go for the Defender Suprema, which will revive you if you die. But as you have seen, I'm using a Triador with speed bonus, with headshot rewarding Supremo, improved Supremo duration, Healing canister, haven't really used it, but it's good when you run out of healing syringe. And also I'm using some proximity mines, which are optional. Also make sure to use the cantina and get a buff, this will help you. You can use either for healing faster or some defense or for some more gadgets. Use whatever you want, but just remember to use the cantina. For the gear, as I said, use 2 sets, one for the first 2 phases of the mission, getting the weapon and getting back to the start location, and for the last phase where you have to survive the waves of enemies, you can use one defensive set. You can either go for the Blast Defender, which will improve the defense against mortar and tanks and grenades, or you can go for the soft target and armor piercing defense. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button, and if you want to see more tips and tricks video, don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.